All right, we'll finish up on the college football side here with a highlight video staying in the SEC, but flipping to the SEC East here as we talk about game 193, 194, Missouri and Florida. Florida 12.5-point favorite. Total on this game actually down now into the 61 range. This is a tough handicap for a variety of different reasons. The first is, of course, Florida had a massive rash of COVID cases. We don't know if everybody's going to play, who all is going to be available, how much practicing they've done, this and that. The second part is, I think Missouri is a pretty good team. I think Eli Drinkwitz is doing a phenomenal job. I just don't know if they're ready for a moment like this.
Great points. You got to take the dog here just because Florida, the possibility, it's either Florida's not, which the line seems about right. Maybe it'd be a little bit higher if the COVID isn't an issue for them, or they are going to be significantly impacted. So I think you got a decent bet, at least taking a little bit on Missouri here. Florida didn't practice for 2 weeks. That's got to be an impact, you would think. And you don't know who's going to be officially out for them. Although I will say this, I've been betting on this COVID stuff all year, and it's been a hit and miss. And by hit and miss, I don't mean 57%. I don't mean 55. It's literally been 50-50 in some instances. Just been dead wrong. Even getting out in front of numbers on some of those COVID issues. So, if everything was in a perfect world, I would say Florida's probably 14 and a half-ish is what I would have it. It's not in this instance. So I would lean Missouri here. And you mentioned it, Missouri last week. You want to talk about okay, they upset Kentucky 20-10. It's not going to move the needle much, I think, among most casual bettors. You dive into that box score. I mean, it's like they should have beaten Kentucky by 40. They absolutely drilled the Wildcats last week. I mean, they had the football for 43 minutes, just took it at them. Missouri had a 21-play drive to start the third quarter. They somehow didn't score on a 21-play drive, took up 10 minutes. So I think Missouri is clearly starting to show some progression here the last couple of weeks. Lean on the Tigers for me, but not a big bet because the COVID stuff to me has been hit and miss.
Yeah, this is one where I would have the line 15, and that is my pure power rating number, but I don't know who's in and who's out for Florida.
Yep.
I don't know how much they've practiced. One thing I do know, and I know Kentucky's offense is inept, and of course we see that line movement for their game against Georgia, is that, as you mentioned, Missouri had the ball pretty much all game long. The 21-play drive that went 66 yards, they got stopped, I think, at like the 1-yard line, turned it over on downs. They had a 15-play drive for 61 yards where all they did was kick a field goal. They had a couple of other short field goals in that game. This is a live betting opportunity to me. If I see Missouri moving the football and controlling the game, it's a live under, or if Missouri's a big enough dog, I will take them. Because to me, Florida hasn't played in 3 weeks, and I don't know how much practicing they've been doing, and guys have had a respiratory illness. If Missouri is chewing up clock, keeping Florida's defense on the field, they have to get worn down. So I think Missouri, that's their game plan. I think that's exactly what they want to do here, even with what's happened to the total on this game, even with how bad Florida's defense looked early on, how explosive their offense looked. I think it's under, or you wait and try to take a live under here if Missouri is controlling the clock as they did last week.
That's as sharp as it gets right there.
Sure it is. As sharp as a dull knife, right?
It sounds all good. And then, it's Florida, totals, they're going up and down the they're going up and down the field.
45-3 like Notre Dame and Pitt was last week.
Yeah. But no, I couldn't agree more that Missouri's game plan has to be that they want to lean on Florida a little bit. We saw Texas A&M be able to Texas A&M team that I don't think is really, when we mentioned it, is a great power rushing team, but they were able to lean on Florida. I think Missouri controls the ball, and if they're capable of doing it early, why not? I mean, they can make it a fourth quarter game real easily by limiting the possessions.
Well, there you go. There's a highlight video from ATS Radio with host Adam Burke and pro bettor and handicapper Brad Powers from bradpowersports.com. Make sure you listen to the full editions of ATS Radio wherever you stream and download your podcast content.